She smiled every morning, not because she was happy, but because it was easier than explaining why she wasn't. Behind that practice smile lived a woman named Lena, who once believed that love meant endurance, that silence was maturity, that a peaceful home mattered more than a peaceful heart. But peace built on pretending never lasts. When Lena met Caleb, she was 26, full of hope and allergic to red flags. He was the man everyone prayed for, steady, well-spoken, God-fearing, and charming in a quiet way. He said things like, "I'll never raise my voice at you," and I just want to take care of you. He meant it, or at least he believed he did. And Lena, tired of disappointment, believed him back. Their courtship was gentle, morning texts, evening calls, dinners with laughter that filled corners of her soul she thought had gone cold. When he proposed, she said yes through tears. He whispered, "You will never cry again, I promise." She smiled that day, the first of many smiles that would later learn to lie. At first, marriage felt like belonging. He worked long hours. She managed the home. And when people asked how marriage life was, she answered, "Beautiful." It was true until it wasn't. It started small, like most heartbreaks do. He began correcting her, gently, then often. "Baby, don't laugh so loud. People scared. Next time, let me talk first." You interrupt without meaning to. You don't have to wear makeup every day. You look fine without trying so hard. He called it love. She called it advice. But slowly, advice became expectation, and expectation became control. One evening, as she prepared for a friend's birthday, he looked at her red dress and said, "That color draws too much attention. You don't need to prove anything." She changed into beige, neutral, quiet, safe. When her friends posted pictures later, she noticed how the red dress in the group glowed. She wasn't in the photo. She had left earlier. He had texted, "Don't stay too long. Dinner is waiting." She told herself that's what good wives do. Keep dinner warm, keep peace warm, keep men from getting cold. Lena began to learn his moods like a second language. The sigh meant disappointment. The tightened jaw meant don't push it. The silence meant I will talk when you behave. No one had told her that silence can bruise. When friends asked, "How is Caleb?" she smiled. "He's just tired lately." When her mother noticed the distance in her voice, she said, "Marriage takes work. Mama, I'm working." And when she lay awake at night, wondering when her husband had become her warden, she told herself it was just a phase. Every couple had phases. She just needed to pray harder. She didn't know that love without communication becomes captivity. One morning, she caught herself studying her own reflection, eyes dull, lips pursed, shoulders tight. The woman in the mirror looked polite but invisible. She tried to smile. The smile stayed, but her eyes refused. It was then she realized she had been smiling for everyone but herself. At church, couples called her the peaceful wife. At family dinners, Caleb would joke, "I'm the lucky one," and everyone would laugh. But she would feel his hand tightened under her thigh under the table. A small reminder, don't ruin this image. She never did. Caleb didn't yell. He didn't cheat. He didn't leave bruises you could photograph. He did worse. He erased her slowly. When she disagreed, he would say, "We are overreacting." When she cried, he would sigh, "I can't talk when you are emotional." When she went quiet, he would say, "See, I knew you would shut down. We are impossible to please." Each line was a pebble, tossed until her confidence sank under the surface. She started apologizing for everything. Dinner too salty, phone too loud, opinions too honest. And when he gave her flowers after argument, she thanked him like he was rescuing her from a storm he created. That's how manipulation hides, not in rage, but in reward. It was their 5th anniversary. He had planned a dinner with friends, the kind where people toast longevity without knowing what it cost. Midway through the night, a friend asked Lena to share her secret to a happy marriage. She opened her mouth. Words refused to come. Caleb laughed lightly, rescuing her from the silence. She keeps me in line, he joked. Right, babe? Everyone laughed. Lena smiled. It was instinct now, but inside something cracked, not loud, not public, but deep, because she realized she couldn't remember the last time she had laughed for real. That night, while he slept, Lena went into the bathroom and stared into the mirror again. Her reflection was honest, as mine wasn't. She whispered, I'm tired of pretending peace, and for the first time in years, she didn't smile after saying it. The next morning, Lena did something reckless. Nothing. She didn't ask if he had wanted breakfast. She didn't text to check if he had reached work. She didn't plan dinner. She just sat on a couch, barefoot, coffee in hand, staring out the window. When Caleb came home that evening, he frowned. No food? I wasn't hungry, she said softly. He blinked, confused by her calm. What's going on with you lately? Lena looked at him. Not the man she married, but the mirror of the silence she had built around him. I stopped performing, she said. He laughed. Performing what? Peace. He scoffed. You are being dramatic. Maybe, she said, but at least I'm finally being something. He stared at her, unable to find the version of her that used to shrink for him. When he walked away, she didn't chase him. That was her victory, quiet but whole. Over the next weeks, Lena began returning to herself in fragments. She wore colors he hated. She reconnected with friends he had called a bad influence. She signed up for therapy. And when he mocked her, you think a stranger knows you better than your husband? She simply said, a stranger listens. One night, Caleb accused her of changing. She didn't argue. She said, yes, because sometimes growth looks like rebellion to those who benefit from your silence. He tried to win her back with kindness, promises, gifts, but she had learned apologies without accountability are decoration. She didn't need another flower, she needed a voice. Months later, they attended another dinner. Same crowd, same candles, same questions. When someone asked, how's marriage life? Lena smiled, a real one this time. It's honest, she said. Not perfect, not easy, just honest. They laughed, unsure what she meant. Caleb shifted uncomfortably, but Lena didn't explain. She didn't need to. Her mind no longer lied. That night, she stood before her mirror again. The woman staring back wasn't glowing or glamorous. She looked tired, but whole. This didn't mean pretending anymore. And for the first time in a long time, her reflections smiled back, because she had learned what silence never taught her, that love without respect is noise, and peace without truth is a prison. Lena didn't leave her marriage that night, she left her silence, and that made all the difference. If you have never smiled to hide pain, know this, you are not weak, you are surviving. But survival isn't the goal, freedom is. And freedom begins the day your smile stops lying. Every story on this channel is a mirror, not just to your pain, but to your power. Subscribe for more cinematic stories that help you see yourself and finally choose peace that is real.